What is happening, Magnus? These two plus-size models were denied entry into a Los Angeles lounge, and they claim that no one wants to stand up for them. So, I have a compilation, apparently, of TikTok videos that they made talking about this, and also I have the CNN story here, and we're gonna go over both. And I will give you my reaction and thoughts. Two models in Los Angeles are urging other curvy women to speak out on size discrimination after saying they were denied entry to a popular lounge because of their bodies. Now, before we even jump on this, clubs have been doing this forever. They've been doing it forever. If you didn't have the right look, you're not wearing the right clothes, if you're not part of the crowd that they want in their club, then you're going to get denied. Trust me, I got some stories. And matter of fact, I'll probably jump on that and tell y'all different ones as this progresses. Alexa J and Ella Halikas, who first shared their story on TikTok, said they went to the highlight room last week to celebrate a friend's birthday. Jay said she first spotted Halikas, a friend and fellow plus-size model, while standing in line with others who were also invited to the party. As their group got closer to the entrance, the women say everyone was allowed in except them. The bouncer took them up and down, looked them up and down, and said, "Not tonight." Jay said, adding that she felt embarrassed and humiliated, that she went home. Okay. I mean, that's fucked up. That is how bouncers talk, though. I tell you that. But you don't make it right. They'll tell you, nah, not tonight. Nah, you got the wrong shirt on, bruh. Nah, that's how they are. They're not really always versed in how to treat the public. You know what I mean? To get ready and get dressed up and feel so vulnerable that a man is now objectifying you at the door to see if you're worth coming in to have a drink or not is the worst feeling ever. Well, welcome to the club. At that point, it's welcome to the club. I mean, men have been dealing with this for years. I have never seen one chick rejected to come into a club. Now, y'all said y'all did, and I absolutely believe y'all, because there's different types of clubs around the United States and the world. And I know that some, if you're the wrong color, you ain't getting in. You could be wearing the right attire, not be the right color, you ain't getting in. Okay? You're not wearing the right clothes, the right shoes. I'm telling you, trust me, I'm getting to it. So, there's always ladies' night. There's not a gentleman's night. I don't know why, because women come to the club to meet men, and men come to the club to meet women. Okay? So, I've never really got that. Towel Group Hospitality, the parent company of the highlight room, said in a statement it was aware of the incident and are in contact with Jay and Halikas about the experience. We're always appreciative of feedback on our operations and continue to work on how to improve our guest experience. Our company does not tolerate discrimination of any kind, the company said. So I wonder how that conversation's going. Because a lot of, they're like that. Some really are. They really are. I've been to enough clubs in my lifetime to know that they definitely discriminate with you at the door. I went to a Puerto Rican club in Philly. I used to go with my boys all the time who were Puerto Rican. And they would be wearing the same shit as me. And when I would get to the door, there would be a problem with what I was wearing. And it was like until they got used to seeing me coming to the club, they would always give me an issue, and then my boys would have to say something. Or sometimes they would have these Puerto Rican performers, dancers and shit, come in wearing all this shit that you're not allowed to wear in the club. And that happened to me before. I remember there's a line of them. They were all right before me, and they got in the club, and they all said, I said, you just let in all of them with sleeveless shit. Yeah, all right, let me in then. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one club I used to go to, in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Everybody knows what it is. And when white tees were in with the rappers, a lot of black people was wearing them. So this club was sometimey. Like, they would be cool with letting black people in, and then there would be times, months at a time, or maybe in a year or so, where they would be acting funny about us. And it was a club that was mainly a mixed club. It was a mixed club. So it was like, you would see everybody in there. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, you would see everybody in there. But they had a problem with letting black people in. And I remember when I first started going, it was never like that. And then there was one point, you get there and I'm like, damn, all these brothers with the white tees, they keep getting turned away. But I was rocking a polo at the time. I got in. They would say you had to have a collared shirt or you had to have dress shoes on. Like if you came with some white Air Force Ones with some white shell tops, nope. You know what I'm saying? They turn you away. It got to the point where a lot of dudes would come to the club and they would have a spare shirt and shoes or sneakers in the car that they could switch into just to get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a couple of instances happen where, I was there all the time. So it got to the point where certain bouncers were very familiar with me. And, like, they'd be like, yo, he's all right, let him in. And this would be brothers or other Hispanics or whatever that, it's kind of like, well, I guess I know who you working for since they acting funny about letting me in. But, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. So the women said that they received a message from the highlight room with the general manager's number attached. And the manager offering to talk with them in person about the incident. But the women said that's not enough. Halika said no one stood up for them after the incident, which she described as blatant discrimination against our size. In that moment, it hurt because we have such a great following online. I have almost 600,000 followers on TikTok, but the second this happened in real life, everyone is silent. No one wants to stand up for you. A lot of clubs, they don't care. They don't care who you are. They don't care who you are. And I remember, too, going to certain nights where they would have a celebrity there. And the celebrity, of course, got to wear whatever they fucking wanted. Anything that was against the dress code, they were allowed to wear, but no one else in the club was allowed to. Privilege. The models said they decided to share their experience online. This isn't the first time they've had to face prejudice as plus-size women. Shortly after they posted a video on TikTok about the incident, the models' followers started using the hashtag #NotTonight as a way to reclaim the phrase used by the bouncer and spread awareness about size discrimination. Doesn't matter your race, your size, your sexual orientation, if you have acne, if you're pretty, if you're ugly. It does not matter, Jay said. Well, to these clubs, unfortunately, it does. Some of their followers shared messages of support and shared their own stories. People started commenting on their own, and we just ran with it, Jay said. It's not just our story anymore. So now a bunch of people are coming forward, talking about the situation, apparently. All right, so we're going to watch this, and we'll see exactly what the hell's going on. I tell you, I've had, several situations, man. It reminds me of that scene in Borat. I think, in the Ali G show. I think Bruno was working security at this high-end club, and he wasn't letting people in. He was just talking trash. And this one of those dudes was like, yo, it's like $500 shirt. You telling me I can? It was hilarious. But they do that. They're trained to know what to look for to let in the club, and if you ain't it, you ain't getting in. I mean, these private establishments, they can do what they want. So I don't know if they really have anything to stand on with that type of thing, but we'll see.
Hi guys, so we're feeling absolutely sick to our stomachs about what happened last night, so we are here to share with you what happened.
She looks like a friend of mine.
I got invited to the room last night for my friend's birthday. It was a group of like 15 girls. I was definitely the biggest in the group, waiting in line to meet up with the promoter. I ran into Ella. It was like amazing. We're gonna have so much fun up there. So the promoter starts letting in the whole group of girls, and right when it gets to me at the front, the bouncer puts the rope in front, looks me up and down and says, "Yeah, not tonight." I wanted to make sure he wasn't confused and he knew that I was a part of the group that he was letting in. So I let him know, and he looked me up and down one more time and said, "Yeah, not tonight." And at that point, it was extremely apparent what was going on and that I was being discriminated against because of the size.
Why didn't her friends turn around and be like, yo?
I'm like, what's going on? Let me talk to him. So we switch spots. I go to the front. I'm like, hi, sir. It's just us four. Like, what's going on? Like, super calm. And he's like, looked at me up and down. Was like, not tonight. And I was like, what do you mean not tonight? I'm so confused. Like, I was just here for dinner before that. Like, wait, what are you talking about? Wouldn't give us an answer. We didn't know why. And to be honest with you, we're tired of playing safe, and we're tired of just letting this happen and not speaking up about it. This has personally happened to me 3 other times. I know this has happened to her before, and a lot of our girlfriends as well, and it is not okay. And we're not doing this because we're complaining we can't get into highlight room. We don't care. It's for that girl or that person that's bigger who does not have a voice and doesn't have a following and doesn't have the connects or model friends or is a model or like, we understand we're privileged, but that's not to say that this is okay.
It was so dehumanizing. It was like we were literally getting looked through. People were watching and seeing what was going on, and no one was helping. These people were looking at us like we were scum of the earth.
Literally scum.
Nobody cared. And again, we have so much privilege.
It's just the
we
way
need to come on
it is.
here
That's
and
why.
make it known that this shit is not okay anymore at all.
Just because you might be a little bit thicker, you can't enjoy a night out with friends. Like, give me a fucking break.
You got me so fucked up.
The security guard was there, did not help, and he was a bigger guy. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, you're seeing what's going on.
You're
You're
one of
bigger.
us.
I know exactly what's going on here. Are you not going to speak up for us on our behalf? Are you not going to vouch for us? You know what's going on." And he's like, "Oh, well, it's not really my place." No, it is. That's your coworker.
Fucking social
A lot of times
standard.
that's
Who cares?
his manager, his security manager.
Speak up when you see that something is wrong. We are clearly getting discriminated against. It's very evident. They're letting girls in front, behind, back, side, guys come in. Everyone that is way thinner than us. And they literally looked at us up and down and said, "Not tonight." On a Wednesday night, mind you. I'm tired of staying quiet. This needs to be talked about.
It ain't even Friday or Saturday. It ain't even jumping
Any type
night.
of discrimination like this, you know exactly how horrible and disgusting it feels, and we are no longer letting this fly anymore. We're holding these people accountable.
So Highlight Room and any other club or place that discriminates people and fat shames them, please do better. Hey guys, we're here with a little update because a lot of you guys are asking what's the next move, have they reached out, and what's going on, so we want to let you know.
Ella and I received the same copy and paste generic DM from the highlight room with the general manager's number. I spoke with the general manager on the phone, and she talked about us having a meeting together, but we know that this is bigger than just one meeting where we get an apology.
We don't want just an apology and a sit down, how can we make this right? We want real change, we want policy change, we want training. We want to make a change, and we realize that this is a lot bigger than us and bigger than we ever could have thought, so that's where our head's at.
The amount of DMs and messages from women sharing similar stories of discrimination is absolutely alarming.
So we want to open this conversation up to you guys. We want you to stitch this video with the hashtag #NotTonight and share your story now so we can get this out.
We're all in this together. We're going to make a change.
I mean, every establishment has the freedom to let in who they want.
And they went all in with all these videos that they made.
I would just like to make everyone know that if this has happened to you in some
I'll tell you
way,
this.
you've never been discriminated against or made fun of or ashamed, embarrassed, humiliated. No, it's not you. It's that other person. You know, this is a reflection of them. It's not a reflection of you. Get over it. You'll never make a change. This is how it's always been. NBC interviews us.
That's the truth.
Yahoo
That's how
looks
it's
it up.
always been.
Countless and countless women come forward with similar stories.
Maybe they'll make a change.
The highlight room has yet to apologize. They told the NBC reporter that they're actively engaged with me and Alexa to make this right, and that they're always open for feedback, which is ironic considering their Instagram comments are now disabled, the Tao industry group comments are disabled, and their Yelp reviews are disabled. But you guys are going so hard for us, hashtag #NotTonight. The Yelp reviews started flooding in. Y'all went so hard. I mean, beautiful. Now you can't leave anymore because they're under investigation by Yelp because they had way too many reviews. What I do find interesting though is that their Google review score has gone up overnight somehow, and magically all of the recent reviews of 1 stars have been disappeared, and now here are the newest reviews, all 4 or 5 stars. So something is not adding up. I don't know how it's legal that they're able to delete these reviews. But our video
Well,
has done
because they're
so
being
well
review bombed.
on Instagram
That's why.
too. I seriously can't thank you guys enough.
Well, that's because they're being review bombed. Yeah, and you know what? I don't, to tell you the truth, I don't know if they're going to make any change with this. I don't. It's one of those things that, yes, it has been that way for a long time with these, these private establishments, they can kind of make their own rules, or like clubs, like these country clubs, you know what I mean? You gotta make this much money per year. You gotta know this person, be part of this club, affiliated with it. It's kind of like that, so if they could do that with finances and status and who you know and what family you're with and what school you went to, then they can do it if they feel like it with what you're wearing, or how big you are or small you are, or I mean, it's fucked up. I don't think it's right, but it's we'll see. I'm going to try to follow this and see what happens, but I don't know the managers of the club, but this is one of those situations where they're going to get a lot of negative press, and if they don't want it to continue, they'll conform, at least for the time being, give them some some prizes, and that's about it. That's messed up, though. I mean, especially when you see a whole group of people are together for a particular party or whatever, and then you tell some people that, like, you just tell some people, you ain't getting in. 3 of the people have a group of 10 or 15. Nah, I don't understand why their friends didn't come to their aid. Like, why how many were in your group didn't come to your aid? Like, yo, what the fuck's going on? They're part of our group, this and that. Like, I don't get that. I'd have to hear more details about the whole story, but I don't see this shit happening and stopping no time soon. I mean, and I get it, discriminating, not letting certain people in at times, because, fact be told, there were certain clubs that I stopped going to because too many fights were happening, too many people were getting shot or stabbed, bouncers were getting fucked up. There's certain groups, you can tell how certain people are. You just know it when you see them, you know what I mean? And the majority of the time, in certain situations, you can judge a book by its cover. You can tell. Like, it's like, I think these dudes might be a problem. A lot of times they're not. But they have to do that in bulk like that, because if they just let everybody in and they wait for something to happen, that's a lot of times playing with fire. I don't know, man. Like, you understand, I was part of the club scene for a long time, man. I'm thinking now, if I was running a club, how would I do it? Because I knew what dudes was trouble, and I knew what dudes weren't trouble. But sometimes the guys that were trouble didn't look like they were the guys that were trouble, and vice versa, But the majority of the time, they did. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Right? I don't know what has to be done in those situations. Especially though, sometimes if you're in a particular area, certain areas are just, nothing's going to happen. Like, there were certain clubs I would go to, you knew it wasn't going to be a fight. Nobody was going to get shot. Nobody was going to get stabbed. You know that the bouncers had it easy at certain clubs. You just knew, especially where they were located. You know what I mean? It just depends, Anyway, I'm done talking. 10 million subscribers. Woo!